We love Covet Mane so much, and it really has helped with our mission of providing luxury hair for people. My name is Megan, and I am a co-owner at Salon Shade here in Nashville. So we are just super happy to be a part of sharing a little bit of support on pricing today. I know that it's something that is so tricky. It's constantly changing. It's something that we could go on and on all day about with a million questions. So really, I just want to share what's worked best inside of our business. And I definitely started out knowing absolutely nothing about pricing and absolutely nothing about money and how just like finances work inside of a business. So I am super happy to just kind of help guide people along in what has worked for us. So knowing the why behind your pricing things the way that you do inside of your business is really, really important. What we really want to do when we look at money and finances inside of our business and how we price is we really want to be able to take the emotion out of it, focus on it with a lot of logic and say, very black and white, what is this costing me? So really it's looking at how much, not only is this costing you in your supplies, but also how much is this costing you in your times and in the time of your stylist, if you're a salon owner, how much is this costing you with taxes, with your rent, your utilities? You really want to break down each and every expense throughout your appointment and really know what it costs you. So the biggest thing that you have to do first is to take the emotion out of everything. It's really just putting yourself in the position of a client, because we see so much of the back end of everything of, the supplies that it's costing us, the color. And a lot of times that's where my brain was going of, oh, this is what it's costing me, the extension hair, the color. Another thing too that I would highly recommend is working with a great CPA or a financial coach if you are, just kind of like so confused with all that stuff. I know as stylists, we are creatives. We don't really set out to own businesses, and somehow you just randomly fall into it and you're like, I don't know how to read a P&L or anything like that. And instead of trying to make it up as I go, I was like, well, I don't know what I don't know. So I need to seek the coaching and the help. And so we found a great CPA in our area who helps us assess our pricing probably twice a year. And so we're going through and checking inflation rates and things like that. We're checking our hourly, we're checking it all for our team to really make sure that there's a thorough checklist of everything that we're going through and making sure that our price is accurate for what we're needing to charge. And so we use QuickBooks as well, which is a great tool that we can use every day. I know that we've all probably seen QuickBooks. We all do a lot of things with that, but it's a really great way to deep dive into your expenses. For our new clients, we do package pricing, which is something that I feel like a lot of people feel one way or the other about package pricing. We have always done our new installs as a package price, and we really think that that is such a great way to provide simplicity for people. I think with extensions and being a creative, so much, there's so many different facets to an extension install that clients, it kind of goes over their head. So really giving them that package price is a great tool for them to be able to get a small breakdown of what they're getting, but then also really just let your creativity take the reins instead of going through so much detail with them. The package pricing has given us a lot of simplicity with clients and with us as stylists. We charge for obviously the hair color. We charge for the extension hair, the install. We do add tax for our extension hair. So we include the price that we pay for tax on that extension cost. And then we also charge a product and an amenity fee. So this is something that we were totally missing for a very long time, because we were just like, ooh, I heard that so-and-so did this. And so we do provide a bag of product for them. And we do also offer them some great snacks and complimentary wine. But we do need to make sure the business is covered for that. So we love giving them products. We love to include it in their install because that way it saves us a lot of stress on the return appointment if they aren't really using what is required for extension. And so you really want to protect their investment. And we love to incorporate travel sizes with our packages. So I think that that's also a great way to expose clients to retail. I would also say that if you're working with a specific hair brand, like really deep dive into that hair brand and know what that hair can do, because you don't want to be charging somebody for 6 wefts and it's a hair brand they're super heavy and it's just like you can't fit those 6 wefts on somebody. So really deep dive into the hair brand. Obviously we're with Covet Mane today. They wear so beautifully. They're very lightweight. So we think that 6 wefts is a great way to do 1 row. So really break it down by row, how much that you're utilizing in each install. So we do 6 wefts. The hardest part that we found whenever we were starting in the extension realm of things was the deposit amount. And it's a can of worms because you're always wondering like, okay, what should I be charging for my deposit? You really do need to charge accordingly. So for our deposit amount, how we figure this out is we take the retail amount of the extension. We divide that amount in half. So that is our deposit amount. But then we're going to go ahead and add that $70 in, which is that amenity and the product fee, because we want to prepare for that product and amenity before the client comes in, and we want our business to be covered for that. So really we're preparing that bag for them with all that product. We're making sure that we have everything in stock for their install. We're making sure that the wine is there, the snacks are there, everything that they need for that. And we need to make sure that we're covered on the front end for that. So really this half amount provides the purchase of each weft for the extension hair, and it provides the business the ability to go ahead and prepare for that client and not lose money on the back end. And you're just kind of like waiting for it to make up. Say they book their appointment 3 months out. Well, you don't want your business to be out that large chunk of money while you're in that limbo of waiting for them to come in for the appointment. So we do the deposit that way, and it took a lot of finessing because that means the deposit changes for each install. And so if you're doing 2 rows, it's a bit different. If you're doing 1 row in a mini, it's a bit different, but it has been a really beautiful, simple way, especially when you're a business owner and you're paying your staff on how to kind of break down that deposit. And when we charge for extension hair, one thing that has really been beneficial to us is taking the price of the rooted and the balayage extensions and really making that our baseline, because 10 out of 10 we are purchasing that hair. On the off chance that we're purchasing something that's unrooted, say like a blonde zero, we're going back in and customizing it with maybe a smaller root or something lighter. So it really is making up. It's a small gap in between the price. But for us, we just stick with the rooted and balayage as our main price, because 9 times out of 10 we're going back in and customizing it either with a toner or something like that to really make it a seamless blend. As a business owner and as a stylist, that is like incredible, and it has saved us so much time and money, which I love. Another thing that I wanted to dive into a little bit more was, if you are a salon owner, how you are paying your stylists for extension work, because this was also something that we really had to dive into. We are a commission-based salon, and so we really wanted to honor the work that extensions takes. It is a lot of work, and if you work with extensions, which everybody here does, you know that it takes so much time commitment. It takes just a lot of finessing. You really have to hone in on it. It is a lot. It takes a lot of skill, and you just have to be really devoted to it. And we worked with extensions for so long before that we knew the work that it took. So if stylists were coming in here wanted to specializing in extensions, it was really hard to find a way that felt like we were honoring them in the space that they were working in, of doing that, but also making a profit as a business. What the stylist does make money on is the balance due the day of the appointment. So that is the total that our artist would receive commission off of. I think that it's just something that we really valued. Our staff really values it too, because they feel so taken care of. And I think that as a business owner, if you are a business owner, there's so many different ways that you can do it, but this one has just worked for us. It really has been very beneficial. And we love doing it this way because we know how hard you work to get an extension install. But it also takes a lot of work for a business owner to get the extension and to get the clients and all of that. So we do like to do it this way of allowing the stylist to make a commission off of the balance due the day of the appointment. Yeah, okay, so that is a really great question. I will say that we are very fortunate. Our booking system, we use an app called Boulevard, and they actually break it down for the client when they check out. So it will show them the service total at the top, and then that's what they tip on. So I would just go through, and if you need it to just kind of like jot down what the services were. I would, either way you want to do it, you could say what the hair cost is, that's fine. But if they're wanting to tip on the service amount, just let them know what the service amount was. That way it's just like easy for cross-referencing, because doing math at the end of a hair appointment is like it's the least fun thing you could ever do. So I would just like simplify it as much as you can. This is where the pricing changes. So the pricing would change here based on the amount of wefts that we're doing for the install. So we would be adding some wefts to that. So then we would upcharge. We would just basically times the amount of wefts that we are using for the cost of the client. This is also a great breakdown to kind of go through if you have staff and change it that way, because our level system kind of flows upwards with the color packages, the haircuts, and everything like that.
Okay.
Yes, which is why we like to focus on offering travel sizes and giving like the little packets, because it exposes them to the product and maybe something that they wouldn't have tried before. But then a lot of times, more often than not, they come back repurchasing. So that's also a great way to boost your retail sales as well, is to just kind of get their toe wet and sampling some stuff, which is also so fun. And then they'll come back and purchase the full sizes because they love the way their hair feels, which is awesome. About being intentional with pricing, I mean, it's really hard to figure out pricing. It changes all the time. It really does. But I think that, like I said before, simplicity is really helpful, and it feels a little less daunting when you have some help and some support and just some insight. I feel like stylists, like, we love to be like a little bit nosy on like, what are you doing over there? So I'm super helpful to be like an open book and be like, here's what we do. Another great resource is this book, Profit First. I loved reading that book. That was super helpful for me, not knowing much. So I think that Profit First was a really great book. Thank you guys so much for having me. I'm super happy to be able to support everybody on this, and we're all in it together. So it'll be great. I hope this helped.